Hi everyone, the scope of this video is to explain in detail how you can change the flow of question in the Cozie Fitbit app. So PJ has implemented this very nice thing which is under flow. This is just a JavaScript file which contains a list of all the questions that will be shown on the Fitbit. Okay. So let me just show you very quickly. So you can, okay, in this video I will not explain you how you can get started installing the application on your computer and testing it. Just please refer to the README or refer to the official documentation on Cozie app website. So you can find more information about that. But basically you just have to clone the project on your computer and then you're ready to start. Okay. So I'm assuming also that you have the simulator installed already on your computer. And again, you can install this from the Fitbit store. You will need an account to log in, but then you should be ready to go. Okay. The most important thing that you need to look is at this file here if you want to change the flow, and this is the scope of this video. So if you want to change the flow, you need to go inside Cozie, Resources, Flows, and here you will find two files. Okay. You will have two options. Probably the best option is to copy this file and create a new one, and I will show you what you need to change. Alternatively, you can just modify this main flow. Okay, so let's see and let's just have a look at what this main flow contains. So this main flow contains an array. So as you can see here, it's just an array. So basically square brackets of objects. So if I'm collapsing all these are all objects. Okay. And don't worry too much about the specification, what is an object, what is an array, but basically an object is something in between curly braces, and don't worry too much about this, but just keep in mind that this is a full question, okay? And as you can see, so let's try to build and install this application on our Fitbit. So I'm going to install it on the Fitbit here, so it's going to compile it and build it and install it. So as you can see, it's working. And you can see that we have a list of questions. So would you prefer to be the thermal question, and this is the test of the question. Then we answer this question, then there is indoor outdoor question, and so forth. As I showed you before, if you want to have only the thermal question, so this object only, this question only, you can comment out all the other questions. So let me just, you don't even have to do that. So just at the end, till the last curly braces, up to here. With my editor, I can do Ctrl// I comment out all this line. So now, if I compile again and build and install, you will see that I only have one question. Okay, so that's a super simple way to remove question. You just have to comment out the one that you don't need. Okay, so for instance, before we had a thermal and indoor outdoor, but now once I complete this question, it's finished because there is only one question in our array. Okay. Let's see also what we can do and how we can change the text of the question, because we might want to change this text. So question text, here we change from would you prefer to be to change top, and question second text, I just want to show you what is that. Is the question that could appear here in this second line. So text second line. You will have to play a bit with that, because there is a limit on characters that you can have, because otherwise it will take more space than what is available here on the watch. Okay, so I don't know exactly what is the limit, but it shouldn't be too long. Okay, so now we can see that we have changed the top and the text of the second line. Okay, name is the name of the question, and thermal is the name that the question will have here in settings. So in the companion app, so on physically you will have the Fitbit app installed on your phone. Here there is also a simulator for that. So as you can see here in the settings, so if I go here, select questions, thermal, if I want to change that, settings name, I can change that. Type icon, I wouldn't recommend you to change that. I mean, we have two types of question. One is icon, one is ring that you can select like numerical inputs, but don't worry too much about that. It doesn't even work very well. So let's just stick with the icon. Icon is this classic type of question, which you can see that there are the 3 buttons here. And require answer, I will show you later on what it is. Let's keep it simple for the moment. Change text, question text is the text at the top. Question second text is the text at the bottom. Then we have icon text. Okay, what are these icons? How can you change them, and where can you find them? So if you go here in the project repository, which you have cloned it on your computer, or you can visit through GitHub. So if you go inside here and you go inside here, images, so you have to go Cozie, resources, images, icon. Here you will find all the icons that are already uploaded in the Cozie project. Okay, so for instance, if you, okay, sorry, that was wrong. So icon text is the text that is underneath here. So let's change it to blue, red, and green. I just want to show you that you can change the text. The icon colors, I would recommend you to use the colors provided on the Fitbit website. So here you can find all the list of colors. You can just look for colors developer Fitbit, and you will find a list of colors that you can use. You can also use X color, so hexadecimal color, but like Fitbit developer colors, and is the first link. You just scroll down and you will be able to see all the colors, so you can use those if you want to. And what is happening here, so this one at the bottom is actually a circle, okay, which is filled with this color here. Okay, we can change it. And on top we are showing the icon image. Okay, so let me open the icon image, prefer cold. Okay, as you can see here, there is only the snowflake, there is no background. So if you want to create a new icon image, keep in mind that has to be very small, has to be lower, preferably is lower, should be lower than 1 kilobyte. Okay, it has to be a square, preferably. I mean, it can also be not a square, exact square, but preferably should be a square. And so it should be very small, like 100. As you can see, like the other icons are all 70 by 70. So that's the best thing. You can just export a PNG, no background, 70 by 70. Okay. If your image will have a background, will cover this circle that there is at the bottom. So the color that you specify in the previous file probably will will not show. Okay, so let's go back to our main flow.js. Here we can let's try to change everything. So we have changed the text, we are changing the icon color. So from let's pick another column, this lavender. Okay, so let's just copy, let's just change one, and then we have icon images. Instead of prefer cold, let's pick no. So let's go back here and we put no, and then you have to put the right extension. So they're all PNG, but just be mindful that you have to put the path, but you don't really have to do much because all the icons must go inside this folder. So if you want to create a new icon, export it 70 by 70 pixel and export it here in this icons folder. Okay, so you can specify it here. Let's do build and install, and we are going to see that these will all change, and we will see all the changes reflected in our application. So yes, so let's go select question. Can you see settings name? This is what we just changed here. Type icon, as I previously mentioned, just keep it as it is. Requires answer, we haven't changed it. Change top, text second line. Sorry, let me go to this one. Okay, second line. Icon text, blue, red, green, as we change it. Icon colors, lavender. Can you see that color has changed? Orange and green, we haven't changed it. And also we have changed the image inside, which is no. Okay, so if you want to create a new question, okay, you can call it name Federico, and the display name is Fede's question. This is going to be in the settings. Type icon, question text, Fede's top, and then here you can have it. Let's actually remove the text at the bottom. Here icon is one 2 and 3. FB lavender, we keep the same color and we keep the same thing, but here we put yes. So let's compile it again, build and install. I would recommend you to use a text editor as I'm doing, because if you do something wrong, like for instance you cancel by mistake a comma, you will see that you get an error, a red line underneath here, and that helps you, because if you try to change this with Notepad, it's going to be a little bit more difficult. Okay, so let's go and let's see if our question has been added. So the first question we haven't changed it. The second question is fade stop 1, 2, 3. And if you go here in settings, select question, now we have fades question. Okay, so everything is fine. This is how you can add a new question, or alternatively you can also add, as I showed you before, a question that was already there and you could modify this. Okay, so let me go back to revert this file just to have it fresh and clean. So we go back we roll back to the previous version. So git roll back. We're just going back. We delete all the changes that we have done. So we go and build and install, and we will see now the default survey flow that we have for the Cozie application. And let me go quickly. So in select question, here we have all the question, and here we have all the classic survey that you must be familiar. One thing that I haven't mentioned before is that you can also have 2 options instead of 3. At the moment, we don't allow you to have 4 options, but we could modify that in the future. So keep an eye on that, because at the moment, as you can see here, you can have 3 options or 2 options. Of course, if you have 2 options, you need to have 2 images, 2 colors, 2 text. Okay, if you have 3, you have 3 images, 3 colors, and 3 text. Okay, and the same icon can be shared among 2 different questions. So this preferred code could also be used here. That's not a problem at all. And the length of the survey can vary. As I said, you can add a question, remove a question, and just show you before that you could have 1 question long, or you can have like multiple questions in the survey. Last 2 things that I want to show you is how to have logic. Okay, so what if you want to have a logic? You can use the requires answer. Okay, so let's have a look here what is happening. So we have a first question, which is the cough question, and the question is, do you have cough? Okay, so yes and no. So if you reply yes, this question will actually appear. If you reply no, we don't want to show you this question, because this question is it worse than your normal cough? So we want to ask you if it has worsened or not. But if you reply that you don't have cough, then eventually this question is not required. Okay? The only a bit confusing thing that there is here, and I might get it wrong during this video, but just double check please. These buttons that you can see appearing here, I think are in this following order. So this is 11, this is 10, and this is 9. Okay? Unfortunately, that's the only problem, but I will show you a quick way, or let me try to see if I can show you a quick way on how to understand which button is which. So let me go to the beginning of the survey. Here, comfy, I press cooler. Okay, it says thermal 11. Okay, so if I go back, this one I press thermal 10. If I go back, this is 9. Okay, so I was right. 11, 10, 9. Okay, so this is very important, because here you have to specify which question requires which. Okay, so let's actually bring it back and just have a real example. So let's go back to the main flow, and we want to show this question here. So the name has to change to thermal. Okay, value has to be, okay, so we want to show this indoor outdoor question, so this one, only if the person presses warmer. Okay, so we say 11, 10. Let's check that everything is working. So let's do build and install. So now only if I press warmer, I should be prompted with the other question, which is the question about the indoor outdoor. Okay, so cooler, no indoor-outdoor question. No change, no indoor-outdoor question. Warmer, indoor-outdoor question, because that was button 11, 10, and 9. So if I change that to 9, then of course will change. I mean, I will just show you, but now I think we have understood that we just have to select that value. So this is the second last thing that I want to show you. So comfy, now indoor, outdoor, no, indoor, outdoor, no, but now we have it because we changed it to 9. So let's revert these changes. So now everything is fine, everything is clean. The best way to add a new flow is to create a copy. So go here in main flow, control copy, control V, and we call it Federico's flow. Okay, add it, and we change the first question. Question text is Federico, just to check that we have changed it. Of course, if I do build and install right now, nothing has changed because I'm still using this main flow in the code, and this Federico's question will not appear. Okay, so how can we change that? I just want to show you very quickly. Okay, here, can you see this doesn't say Federico? So how can we change that? So we need to check in the code where main dash flow is used. Okay, so here we can go into app index. So okay, so we are Cozie app index, and here instead of main flow we change it to Federico flow. Okay, this should be sufficient, but I've seen that the main flow was also used somewhere else. So let's just have a look. Okay, so this main flow is also used in the settings, of course, because we are also changing the settings here. So we will also have to change it here. So we are Cozie settings index. Okay, so just to recap, one was app in Cozie app index. We have changed it here, Federico's flow. And the second one is Cozie settings index. So let me go Cozie settings index, and we have to change it here as well. Okay, and then we compile, build and install. Now you will see that my question, the question with the title Federico, should appear. Okay, no error here on this side. I mean, this error is here is a problem, but is something related to something else, and as you can see, it says Federico. So why I'm suggesting you to do this? Because if you do this, go resources, flows, now you can create your own personal flow without changing too much the code. And when you want to use a different flow, you just can refer to the other one without overriding the old flow. So I think that's all for this video. I think I've covered everything. So this is the way that you can change question, you can add logic, and you can change color and so forth. As I previously mentioned, maybe in future we're going to add the option of having 4 buttons, but currently you can only have 2. And this is how you can change all the variables in the question. I hope you found the video useful. If you have any questions, just leave a comment below and under the video. Thank you very much for listening.